Well, hello there, everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. I'm here. Cat's around. She may come by. She's awake. She'll know that I'm streaming because she'll be able to hear me. She may swing by, but for now, she's in a different room. Mythologic, thank you for the 14-month resub. 14 months. Keep being you, Hazel. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Also, Infinity Girl with a 7-month resub. 7 months already. Gosh, it's going so fast. It really is. Happy Wednesday. I knew that one at one point today, and then I forgot, and then I looked just now. Happy Wednesday. I have been just wanting to do world quests all day, and then also last night, and I keep being a responsible person and doing other things that are more important than world quests. And gosh darn it, it's time for me to follow my dreams. CB, thank you for the 22-month resub. All I have upgraded in terms of this new Anima thing is just the first one. That was a terrible sentence. You may be aware that there has been a hotfix that allows us to get more Anima by upgrading all of our Covenant buildings. Every time that you get all 4 of your different buildings up another upgrade level, you will get one more blue or green quality Anima item whenever you get them. So like a world quest that would have given me 105 will give me 140 right now because I have all my buildings at rank 1. I want all the Anima. Like, all I have is that first upgrade level because obviously I have the first rank of an adventure table because that's how I did adventures, but I never upgraded it further than that. I'm sure that I'm not alone there because that's like kind of not the most obvious upgrade to do. And all I want to do now is get it upgraded so I can get more, so I can upgrade it so I can get more. So there's world quest to be done. I am a free wasp buzzing about the meadows of, I don't know, I lost the thread of that one real fast. Scott Jacobs giving out a gift sub. Thank you very, very much. Also, CB with a 22-month resub. Kira's story on Instagram is so cute. She does that all the time, I swear. All she wants is to be on your back or on your shoulders if she can fit. I imagine if I had broader shoulders, she would just sit up here, but she just wants to rub her face on your face. I originally had sound I had sound on in that story because she was purring really loudly and had wanted to have that as part of the video, but then when I listened back to it, all I could hear was my own heavy breathing, and that freaked me out, and I decided to not do that. Okay, I was here because I was posing for pictures, and I'm done now. But I am in Revendreth, and Revendreth is a great place to get Anima. Let's see. Let's get away from the wall of stuff spawning. Go take a look at what we got. Hope you didn't lose too many followers in the great 2021 Twitch purge. To be honest, and I'm not trying to humble brag, although I get how it could come across that way. I don't know if I lost any because I don't know how many I had before. It's just not something I look at. The follower number, the metric on Twitch. Don't get me wrong. It's a good thing to have followers because it helps people notice that you're streaming if they plan to watch it again. But it's, of all of the metrics in my content creation life, that is not one that I'm actively tracking or aware of. I want to say I have more than 30k and less than 100, and that's a pretty wide gulf, so I couldn't tell you, which is the right way to be, because now, I don't have to feel bewildered that some amount of them were not real, because, that's probably true, but if I never knew how many it was, then I never know, I'm good, I'm chilling. What up, party squirrel? What's up, Lux? That is incredible. There is no way to cha-cha smoothly. The story. Seems you don't have Horde. That's mostly true. How does it feel to be stunlocked by a rogue in PvP? It's almost relaxing because then you get like some time off, It's like an unexpected vacation. Like you had plans to go to a party where you were going to press buttons and then all of a sudden can't make it, nothing to do but sit here and chill for another 9 seconds. If you want a ticket to the all-you-can-eat Anima buffet. I acknowledge that the name might be slightly confusing because it really doesn't mean anything. 175, give it. It does not mean anything, but I liked it, and then I thought to myself, what is a stream title? Does it need to make sense? I think not. So we're rolling with it. Rust Feather a few minutes ago. Good luck getting yours when you farm next. Congratulations. Relaxing. I feel like I'm gonna pop a vessel when I'm stun locked. Yeah, I may be exaggerating a little bit. It's also been a minute since I've been stun locked, mostly because I haven't played recently. So I'm gonna go do this one. Collector's Guess. This is the kind of world quest that I would normally never touch, but it's going to give me 5 anima items, and it's only got 2 hours left on it, so I'm going to do that. I am 44,775 anima of 5,000. Once I get to 5,000, I will be able to research the second upgrade, and then I'll start getting 2 more items. I also got some dungeons I can do today. I never did my Beneath the Idealia quest, the ones that give you extra anima, so I want to do those. Those are not affected. It does not appear to be. They do not appear to be affected by the buff, but it's still good anima and also good reputation. And that's another thing that I wanted, some reputation, because I am not terribly wildly far off from a Paragon cache in the 2 reputations that have Paragon caches that could contain mounts. That was a long sentence. It wasn't really necessary. Okay. Yeah, I'm 9 of 10k for Undying Army, and then almost 8 of 10k for Wild Hunt Supplies. Those 2 can have mounts in them. I would like some sound, but not as much sound as I had during that Blanchy VoD, because I went back and listened to it, and that really was too much. There we go. I've introduced my friends to WoW. Do you have any videos for them to watch to help them? If somebody is brand new, I think a lot of video guides are probably going to be more overwhelming than helpful. The important thing is to know where to answer your questions as they come up, but I wouldn't worry too much about trying to get new questions before they've occurred to you. If you're brand new to WoW, then you just want to find something, you want to level it, and take it one day at a time. I hope you add the dark side alt down. I don't know what that means. World Quest event is next week. Can't wait. Ooh. Oh, that's a good point. I was all excited early in, also, there's a better way to do this. I learned this in the first week of BFA. There's a thing that you pick up. There's a collector that you grab, and then that makes you kill those things better. I think that this was the first world quest I ever did in Shadowlands. Sorry, I said BFA, I meant Shadowlands. I think this is the first world quest I ever did in Shadowlands, and I think I did not discover until the very end of it that you can pick up the Anima collector to siphon the big gargoyles to make them not annoying to kill. And I was like, you want me to kill 5 of these things? And you know, your item level like 140 because you just hit level 60. And I was just, you know, really upset about the State of World Quest. And I'm still a little upset about the State of World Quest, but some things are easier once you figure out that you're doing them wrong. Just realized that I suck at PvP in retail. Classic PvP is the best for sunlocking. Kill them better is a nice phrase. They go down a lot easier. What does this do? It reduces their movement speed, and then you do like a bunch more damage to them, but it's not so bad. So these ones, the problem with this world quest that I have found outside of that is that the 12 guests that you need to kill there's not that many of them, and they don't spawn that quickly. I had some troubles finding enough of them last time I was here, but I have skipped them for sure. Okay, so I'm mostly just really fixated on getting anima to upgrade my buildings so I can get more anima so I can upgrade my buildings. And I'm having a very hard time seeing past that moment. I know there is a life after that. I feel like what you do is you get, then you're buying transmog and stuff. I do benefit from having a nice collection, pretty healthy collection on, did I do the whole thing? You got to channel the whole thing, and then, oh, well, he died. I guess it just does damage to him, too. Ooh. Oh, and then it works for these ones, too. Okay. I benefit from having a healthy collection of grateful offerings. How many do I have? 309. I have 309 grateful offerings, because Kyrians are OP at getting grateful offerings. As a Kyrian, every day of my life, I go do this Limbo world quest. I have it reinforced, so it's always up for me. Every day I get 3 grateful offerings for that, and that world quest takes me about 11 seconds because it's just like the best world quest in the game. It's a level 2 Anima Conductor world quest for Kyrian. And because of that, I get at least 3 grateful offerings a day, and I would never miss that because it takes like 11 seconds. Good evening. Hope you're well today. Good evening. Got the Peacemaker mount from Mechanical on my first run last night. Congratulations. That's really lucky. Lux with some bits. 9.1 PTR hype. Wednesday hype. Hype train hype. Generic name brand hype. Hope you're having a wonderful day, Hazel and chat. I am. The thing that you said about generic name brand hype made me immediately think about the President's Choice name brand, which is, I believe, the house brand of the Real Canadian Superstore, which occurred to me as funny just now because it's a Canadian business, and as Canada doesn't have a president, I mean, there are presidents of like, I don't know, marbles clubs and stuff, but government wise, you're looking at prime ministers. It's a different system. So that is what that reminded me of. I hope you're happy. Topaz B, thank you for the 2-month resub. Love this stream. Thank you. I know this is not actionable advice for you, but doing this in a random group is much more enjoyable. Oh man, I love the qualification. You're absolutely right. I'm sure this one goes a lot faster if you can get into a group. I've been scarred by the fall of World Quest Group Finder, like the Legion version of it, and I've just kind of accepted my lonely fate ever since. Junkyard Jeppy with a 21-month resub. Hello Hazel, love the anima buffs. Gimme anima, gimme all the anima. I'm having a wonderful time. I was a little confused, and maybe this is just because I didn't expect Twitter to be negative, and I don't know why I would have thought that. But I retweeted the post, and people were like, "Oh man, it's too late," which is a fair criticism, although it's not too late for me. That's a you thing. But also, somebody said that this only affects people that farm raids. And it doesn't help world quests, and that's just evidently not true. That's just wildly untrue. I am not really raiding for the rest of this. Like, I'm done raiding for the tier pretty much. And I'm basically done Mythic Plus, and I'm still having a grand old time. What do you recommend for Burnout and WoW? Yeah, Ujai got it. You take a break. If you really want to continue playing WoW and you don't want to play the current WoW you're playing, you can look into other types of WoW that you don't usually play, like leveling an alt or trying PvP or trying PvE, depending on which one you do. Get into pet battles, get into collecting, get into roleplay, but get into fishing, get into gold making. But if you just want to log off WoW, then you log off WoW. There's all kinds of stuff you can do with your life. It's only too late if it never happens, right? Surely there's a president of Superstore. I mean, do companies have presidents? They have like CEOs, don't they? Is that a president? There's no P in CEO. I genuinely don't know. All bar 114 in time. Now I can apply for 15s, Keystone Master, and say, oh man, you're going to make it. Imagine how much anime you can get from Raid. True, actually. I think there is an alt run happening. Maybe I should go. Do I have time? What day is it today? Is it today? When is today? Today is now. I can do things. I am free for the rest of the day. In a move very uncharacteristic for me, have had like just a really healthy and productive day. I had all kinds of fruit with my oats for breakfast. I got to work, like I had planned the night before that I was going to work for XYZ amount of time. And then I did it. And that's never happened to me before. I never actually follow through. And I got like a bunch of stuff done, including some stuff that was really stressing me out. And now I realistically don't need to do anything else until tomorrow. I've got my time booked for tomorrow. I don't want to push it and burn out and not be able to continue following through. So like I'm chilling. I'm juicy. I'm hungry. I'm not hungry. I didn't finish my snack. I had a bowl of apples and I had sliced them up and I was working through them kind of slowly because I think I like apples less than I think I like apples. Really engaging content from your streamer here. I overestimated how much I liked apples. Anyways, I'd sliced it up, I'd put it in a bowl like I do, and I was eating it very slowly, just kind of one piece every 5 minutes. And I was looking at it and I was like, maybe I should just bake it. Maybe I should just spread this out on a little tray on some parchment paper, sprinkle some cinnamon on it, and just throw it in the oven for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. And then maybe that will work better for me. And then just as I was thinking that, my cat was on my lap. She looked at the bowl of apples and she sneezed in it. So I threw it out. Too much online. I think it's just that online is the only thing that makes me remember the day. I think if I wasn't online, I would be just like either reading books or staring at my ceiling, and that wouldn't really help me with days of the week either. After a long hiatus, I finally decided to go back into Twisting Quarters. Wish me luck. Good luck. You got it. You're going to have a great time. I like fridge cold apples. If you're into cinnamon, a little sprinkle of cinnamon over apple slices is a delight. I can't really imagine it over fresh apples, although I'm sure that's a thing. I need just one more Peacekeeper, the big boys. Where are the big boys at? But baking them seems like a good alternative just because I don't have enough apples for a pie. And I just want to shake it up because I keep slicing them into a bowl and then having a real hard time finishing them. And I don't want to keep eating something if I just hate it. After playing the PTR, going back to retail in the mall will be awful. Blanchie looks good in the mall. Oh man, I did download, or not download PTR, I guess I already had it, but I logged into the PTR today, but I could barely get my characters to move on the PTR. I turned down the graphics settings and that helped a little bit, but my item in that category for today was to make some notes about what's going on it, and then also to prepare a character on each faction for raid testing. Not that you have to, but, you know, just in case I can't find a group on one faction. I usually raid test as Horde for that reason. But I was on PTR and I was getting disconnected, and I was like, the game was locking up for me really, really often. So I didn't actually get to play anything. I mostly just looked at journals. Tiffany Darkwood, thank you for the 8-month resub. Has it really been 8 months already, right? Moment of texture being momentarily difficult, and that is just a mouthful of apple cinnamon deliciousness. Otherwise you breathe in and choke on cinnamon powder. Ask me how I know. Dude, the cinnamon challenge was years ago now, and also I think we collectively decided it was a bad idea. Although I think it was followed by the Tide Pod thing, so I don't know if we learned any lessons from that. Okay, so that's that done. That's my 5 anima items, all for me. I'm gonna do, what is this? 10 supplies delivered. That's only for 70. 70 is the new 35, don't you think? Do I want to? No, I do want to do it because I have one of these anyways. I have an aiding Revendreth calling, so I may as well go do it. Honestly, I don't really know how. I don't know if I've done that world quest before. Can I fly any closer to there? It seems like something I could kind of fling myself from a cliff for. You know, I do love a good cliff fling, although I'm not really close to a flight point. I guess I'll just run there. That's fine. Oh, I can fling myself from this cliff for now. Will that work? Is that a good idea? Yeah. So thank you for the 19-month resub. Glad you're having a good day. Mine was productive too. You should try it again. Yeah, I mean, I've got it on the calendar. I'll definitely be on Friday doing raid testing, which reminds me, Friday's variety stream will still happen, but will be 1 hour, maybe a little more later. I will try to find a way to adjust that on the on-stream schedule, but I do not want to stream during raid testing, and raid testing is not projected to end until halfway through streams, so I want to make sure I'm doing that. I have streamed raid testing before, but I need to record, and for the moment, my poor little PC that can, it can stream and record and run the game at the same time in 4K, but like it's asking a lot. And also I tend to get distracted while I'm streaming, and it's useful for me to have all of my attention available when I'm recording raid testing so that I have decent footage with which to work when it comes to raid guide time. How are the Sanctum upgrades going? I am really close to getting Adventure Table to rank 2, and I'm very, very excited about that. I wish I had done it last night. I had a little time last night at the end of the day. I could have logged on, but I was sitting in my chair. Oh, that makes me sound elderly. I was in my chair, not this one, my downstairs chair. I was sitting in my chair, and I had like, you know, a big fluffy blanket, and I had a pillow behind my back, and I had a cat on my lap, and I was just like, I don't think I'm getting up. I think I'm just going to sit here until bedtime, and then I'm going to get up and go to bed. I had probably 45 minutes I could have gamed last night, and I spent all of it just sitting on my chair, and it was nice, you know, it was relaxing. Okay. And then I got to bed at a reasonable time, and I had one of those nights of sleep where you just are out, but like you feel like you've slept like the dead, and then you also feel like you had like 14 different dreams throughout the night. Or I don't know if these happen to everybody. I'm somebody that tends to remember a lot of dreams, and I experience them super vividly. Did I tell you guys about Bathtub Duck? I must have. I can't shut up about Bathtub Duck. Does this sound familiar? Fire Mage has not been leveled yet. She's like 31-ish. She needs more work, but I'm looking forward to it at some point. Might struggle to stream record. Yeah, that's actually true, because PTR is also struggling. That's a good thing. Yeah, I did get a new tattoo on my forearm. Bathtub Duck, I have questions. So this is just a dream, right? Like, this is just a fragment of a dream. But sometimes you have a fragment of a dream that like is such a vivid experience to you that you like can't shake it. This dream was like 2 or 3 nights ago now. And it was extremely short. The thing I remember is I'm holding onto a duck, right? Duck is facing away from me. I have its wings under my hands, like you hold a duck, you know. I don't think I've ever held a duck, but I've held chickens before, and that's how you do it, because you don't want their wings to be, you know, you want a good, safe, secure holding the duck. So I'm holding the duck, And I have this duck, and I have a bathtub with some water in it. And I understand that's not a long-term solution, but evidently I didn't plan to have this duck. So as a short-term solution, I want to let my duck swim in the bathtub so that it's got a little place to swim. So I'm holding onto the duck, and I got the bathtub full of water, and the duck is like ready to go. Like, this duck does not want to be held anymore. And I let go, and it flies, and it bonks its head on the bathtub, and then like passes out and falls under the water. And I'm like, oh no, duck, you're gonna drown. So I got the duck out of the water. It's okay. Bathtub duck was okay. And I believe the ending of it is that I resuscitated the duck. Or the duck just came to and then was okay and managed to start swimming normally. But the vivid moment was the duck just big bonk. big bonk. And then eventually we worked it out. But I remember I woke up. It was the last dream I had in a night, and I woke up and I stood up from my bed and I said out loud, I'm glad bathtub duck is okay. And the cat just kind of looked at me, and then I kind of, because it's like you're awake because you're standing, but like you're still asleep enough to think that it's real. And I've thought about bathtub duck about 3 or 4 times a day since that happened, and just kind of wondered where that story was going if I had not woken up. Yeah, no, like a real duck. No, the duck lived. That was a very important part of the story. It was a very big duck bonk. And then possibly part of why, so no longer talking about dreams, something that actually happened, possibly part of why that keeps reoccurring to me is that yesterday I was at a park and there were ducks at the park. And I was sitting on a little bank by a little pond area and there wasn't a duck there. But then a duck came and flew down, and people must, like real ducks. I did not grab one or touch one in any way, but I thought they were going to come like get me. Like people must feed ducks at that park because there were people nearby with dogs, and these ducks did not care. These ducks did not give a duck. They were like walking out of the water and then like right up to me and then like away to each other and then like quacking to each other. And then when I got up and I left, there was a duck that was following me like a good ways down the path, just like walking behind me and quacking at me. And I'm pretty sure I was getting shaken down. I think I was being threatened by a duck. Ducks are fine, swans are nasty. To be fair, I had never, and this part of the story is less palatable, but when the duck first landed in the water in front of me, it like flew in and then made it like a water landing, which was really cool. And then, I'm supposed to be doing stuff. I'm literally doing a world quest. I've never done this one before. Did I do it? No, I missed. I thought I was on a flight path. I'm just like, all right, time to tell my duck stories. Is it on cooldown still? Can you guys not do better at that job? Oh my goodness. All right. What about now? Should I be right? Maybe like a little in front of it almost? It's a good thing. This is going to kick me off eventually. Let's try now. That's behind it still. That fell way too far behind. You would think that you would need to lead it and not follow it. Don't you think? Logically speaking. All right. So I'm going to be like over it already. And then I'm going to drop the thing. All right. There we go. That's weird logic. But that's fine. Sure. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, the duck flew in from the sky, landed in the water, and immediately made a large and kind of loud underwater mess, as creatures do. But I've never seen a duck do that before. And it looked violent. And at that moment, I was glad that I did not really have a duck because it was very gross. I think it's just a loop. If you want tips, say the word. I think I'm getting the hang of it. I think I just assumed that I would need to drop the thing before I was over it, and in reality, that's not true. They fall on a weird trajectory. I got attacked by Canada geese in my parents' place last year. Oh dear. I've heard of that happening. It's never happened to me, but I give geese a pretty wide berth because they are not super friendly. Do you have the achievement where you do 100 different Shadowlands world quests? I don't know. I would have to look. Do you know what the name of it is? Is it just do 100 Shadowlands world quests? Because I've seen, that wouldn't surprise me wildly. Okay. All right, one more. This is worth 70 anima. Especially once I figured it out. Bad Soba, thank you for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. So the duck that made a mess in the pond was a real duck. The ducks that were threatening me at the park, real ducks. Bathtub duck was a dream duck. I understand the confusion. There are multiple different phases of duck going on here. You do have it according to data for Azeroth? Huh, okay. That's why we're so nice. We put all of our evil into geese. Oh boy. All right. Okay. So that's that done. I need one more Revendreth world quest, but I'm assuming that my unquenchable desire for Anima is not going anywhere. And I just picked that calling up today. I have the other 2 done, so there's no need to finish that right now. There's 3 in Bastion. There's 2 in Ardenweald. There's 1 in Maldraxxus. There's 700 Anima just on the map. Maldraxxus 1 is just 11 hours left. Okay. I'm going to go back to Bastion for now. I'm going to hearth back to Bastion, and I'm going to turn in... I think I can get my upgrade started. Canadian geese were a gift from Britain because they didn't want them. Is that true? Do the polished pet charms one? Yeah. That's... no, well, oops. I have left. I don't mind doing them when I'm, like, running by them, but I don't often go all the way out of my way unless I need them for something. I get that I need them for a calling, but I'll be back, I'm sure. Okay, and then I can also do this, and that's another 1,602 gold, oddly specific number. Did I get enough? I might be a little short. No, I have enough. Okay, command table, take me to rank 2, and then my companions will naturally heal faster. Oh boy, very exciting for them. So now that I'm still not quite 20 short, but I could be convinced. How long is that going to take? 12 hours. 12 hours. Fine. Jeez, when it's going to be 3:30 in the morning. I guess I will not get up at 3:30 in the morning to do World Quest. That's ridiculous. I won't do it. No, I won't do it. But I will go to the mod just because I want to top up on souls because I know I'm going to need them. I am now thinking I may at some point reach a level in my life where souls are the limiting factor to me upgrading my stuff. No ducks were murdered. Bathtub duck was fine. That was the point of the story. Speaking of pets and WoW, what was the change to pet cap? Yeah. So in 9.1, they have removed the overall hard pet cap. So when you look at your pet journal, you see at the top here somewhere, I have a modified pet journal, but in the default one, there's a way to see how many pets you have of how many you're allowed to have. And that's gone. You can now have as many pets as you want, up to 3 of each type, right? So you could have 3 Antoran Biolarva, 3 Fox Kits, 3, tabby cats, etc., etc. But the overall cap of like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, that is now gone in 9.1. That is gone in 9.1, not gone yet. It is a bummer for anybody who recently purchased upgrades like the pocket portals with pet charms, because those are expensive and there is nothing to indicate that there's going to be any refunds. Sometimes life is like that. And it also means that do not buy those things now. You will not need them in 9.1, so under no circumstances should you spend pet charms on pocket pet portals or whatever they're called to expand the cap of your pet collection, because that cap is going away in patch 9.1. Is the gist of how that's happening. Doing shard labor right now. I want to die. Oh, it's so good though. It's so good when you get it. Why did we purchase the extended? Sometimes it is like that. It was the same thing when they took out the when they compressed it to flight training. When they took flight training and they made it go, instead of 4K to get to 280 and then another 4K to get to 310, and they took out the 280, so you just pay 4K once to get to 310. They didn't give everybody their 4K back. And way back when you no longer had to upgrade every spell rank at a spell trainer, they didn't refund you the gold. It's just sometimes the game changes, and sometimes when the game changes for the better, it sucks that you did it when it was hard and now it's easier. But if that was a huge consideration every time they changed something, then they just, you wouldn't get things changing for the better. I have the benefit of gracious clarity because it's been so long since I've spent those pet charms. Somebody that did it like last week or even this year, I 100% understand why you would be giga bummed that you spent 1,000 pet charms that you just can't get back, that you could have not spent. But them's the breaks. They're not good breaks, but them's the breaks. Yeah, so in 9.1, this is true. In 9.1, so not yet. And it is not that so it's no overall cap. There is still a limit of 3. So you can only have 3 grumpies and 3 left sharks. You cannot have all of your grumpies and left sharks. Yeah. Did that. It was a long grind. If we did it when it was hard, you were able to do it ahead of time. Yeah, you get it early effectively. It's the same thing as, when they added, another example is when they added free Pathfinder for WoD and Legion. They can't give you back the time you spent grinding WoD and Legion Pathfinder, but what you get is you got to enjoy that Pathfinder achievement for all those years when it was current. Hawkster, thanks for the 12-month resub. Happy 1-year sub-anniversary. Also, I don't know if I thanked Bad Soba for their brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Yeah, you got to enjoy it while it was current, and it does suck. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you they shouldn't refund you. If they did, that would be great. I'd be on board. But that's how they usually don't offer refunds for that kind of thing. When do you unlock flying in Shadowlands zones? So 9.1, and I looked in the PTR today. There are 40 new levels of Renown, and the last Renown level that offered new campaign quests that I could find was level 59. Based on what we know now, that is when you will unlock flying, because flying is tied to the campaign, which is tied to Renown, which looks to be Renown 59. So about halfway through the new Renown levels, if we continue to earn it at 2 per week, then you are looking at, what would that be, 10 weeks after the release of 9.1? I don't know if you're gonna, did we ever, no, we stopped earning, well, 2 per week, but then also you would assume that the campaigns will give an extra one, so my math is off, but Hi Hazel, I absolutely read the title of the stream as Can You Eat Anima? I mean, can you? Have we tried? Who among us has that? I mean, I'm sure that in Azeroth somebody would have tried to put it in your mouth. Like, that's just, somebody has tried. I like this world quest, but I have a horrible habit. Almost every time I do it, I do 4 out of 5 chores and then I leave. I do 4 out of 5 chores and then I'm like, okay, job done. And then I just move on with my day. And then later on, I'm looking at my map and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Okay, so I need to find a hungry aspirant who I think is, yeah, you're hungry. There we go. But this is on my nice list. This is on the list of world quests that I like because they are not incredibly fussy. 6 weeks with renown from campaign, 10 weeks if the campaign does not give you renown. Okay, that makes sense. Once you've done, 6 weeks with renown from the campaign. But wouldn't there be more than, math is above me. Doing 4 out of 5 is something sounds like you and Torghast. Yeah, I don't really know what's up with that. That's a newer thing for me. In the past, I used to be able to finish obvious stuff like that. Okay, I need to find a bored aspirant. I want to say they wander around like over here. Who's bored? That's a dangerous thing to ask in your stream chat. Mate. They're going to make us grind to 59 renown. That is pretty... Oh, effed up. I thought you said fed up. Like you're fed up. I mean, it's better than 80, right? Like I don't know. I'm not terribly upset about it. Especially because account wide, right? That's something. 80% is good enough. The last 20% is not worth the effort. I've heard the 80-20 rule. I don't know if I've ever heard it in that context. Also, I don't know if the moral of the story of the 80-20 rule is that the last 20% is not worth your effort. I guess in some applications it is. It's just that you should account for it when you're allocating your time. Which aspirant is bored? I guess, can I target them? /tar bored. Haha, I can target them using my own advice. Where are you at? There you at. I always get all 5 stewards and then let them do their job. Oh! Would you believe that I didn't know that I could have more than one following me at once? Oops, daisy do. Turomori, thank you for the 4-month reset. Thanks for making my favorite WoW content, leveling another Alta 60. Love having your VoDs and streams on in the background. Cheers. Kind of battle pets should we use against critter ones? Yeah, Lux has got you. Beast is what you're after. Neon's gone. Thanks for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. So this one's got a broom, and there's a mess right there. That'll be 4. So I need to find one more. What do you got? You need to hold the falling scrolls. There we go. I love the thing, like when the stewards are talking and they go, I fixed, because that's me. In dungeons when I'm healing, I have a bad habit of doing like a semi baby voice, or not even baby voice, but just like baby sentence structure when I'm just in a good mood. And I'm like, I'm helping. I'm 28. And I know it can be grating, so I try to avoid it when when it occurs to me that I'm being annoying. But I relate to that sentiment of I'm helping. That's me when I'm helping my friends. Just to myself, like, yay, I fix. There's something very enjoyable about just like a gleeful self-satisfaction. You know, it's a good feeling. It's a nice one. Okay, did I finish that one? I did. There is Flapping Frenzy. And you know what I love about Flapping Frenzy is that world quest gets me and my desire to not do hard things because there's an easy option. Can you take me... Ooh, I'm just gonna... Well, no, I don't want that one. I want the teleporty one. I want the one that's gonna take me... Yeah, this gateway. And then I'm just gonna go to Elysian Hold, and then I'm gonna take the Larian. Or maybe I'm just gonna fling myself from the hold and then levitate down because that is more fun. Do the hard thing for content? No. Talaria, thank you for the 17-month resub. Didn't notice my sub expired. Oopsie, happy 17 months, bestie. Happy 17 months. Knowing that you hold the power of life and death of your teammates. I mean, in PvP, yes. In dungeons, people hold the power of their own life and death, more or less. You know. Maybe this is just me being more cynical as I've gotten older, or, you know, just comfortable enough with healing to understand what is and isn't my fault. But I'm at a point with dungeons now where if somebody dies in a dungeon that I am healing, 8 times out of 10 it's their fault. And that's fine, you know, I make mistakes. Sometimes I die and it's my fault. You know, I'm not above or immune to that. I'm not going to judge anybody for it. But yeah, your power of life and death for the most part is involved in not standing and stuff. Sup, Mallow? I would like a lighter course today because the only thing you get for doing the hard one is an achievement, and that achievement does not seem to give you any mounts, pets, toys, titles, and those are the only things that really motivate me to do stuff in this game. Achievements for achievement points' sake? Nah. That's gonna be a no from me. Also, the second button is a real trap. It's not better. Sometimes I do it at the very end, just as a finishing flourish, but more often than not, when I have gotten brave enough to use the second button, I just fling myself into a spear, and then I have to start all over again, and it's deeply embarrassing every time, even though it's usually, you know, alone into myself. Somebody somewhere has memorized the trajectory, but that's not a me problem. And there we go. My group's healer tends to yell, "You're really tired of being alive." Oh, that's so good. You gotta be friends with your group if you're gonna pull that one off. I feel like if you use that in the wrong company, you're not gonna come across very well, but I like that a lot. Every time a healer expresses shock or glee that I off-healer cleanse, I want to go to my fellow rets and shake them like, what are you doing? What do you mean? Okay, so that was all of the Anima from Bastion. There's 2 in Ardenweald and 1 in Maldraxxus. I'm going to do the Ardenweald one. And then I want to do all of them and then turn it all in at once. I want to get it like a really... You know... Once upon a time when there was like more quests in an area and you'd be leveling and you'd be like, okay, I'm going to get 26 quests and I'm going to do them all and then turn them all in at once. I want to do that with Anima. So I need to go to Oribos. Well, you know what? In the middle, let's take a dungeon break, shall we? I need to do Necrotic Wake or Tyrannus Scythe. Normal or heroic would be fine. Let's just do heroic because I feel like those go, well, normal or heroic. Miss a Tyrannus Scythe, Necrotic Wake. For the sake of the weekly quest, Miss Tyrannus Scythe or Necrotic Wake. If you don't do these and you are farming Anima, or rep, you should, because they give good Anima and good rep, you can pick them up underneath the inn in Oribos in the Idealia. There are some staircases on the sides that go downstairs. You can pick these ones up. I'm going to queue for that. I'm queuing as healer, but I should be able to contribute a fair amount of damage in a low difficulty thing like that. Dirt Nap, thanks for the 3-month resub. As a Brewmaster Monk Main tank. When I die, my guild whispers me to stagger harder. Oh, did you see my screenshot from Ratchet last night? I did not. Where's your kitty cat? I think she's sleeping on my bed. Our bed. I think she's sleeping on the bed. Pre-buff was 1100. Oh, Raid Finder LFR super easy. I see. Why did I think you had to do Mythic for those quests? I mean, it's a fair assumption. There's a lot of, whenever something in Shadowlands wants me to do dungeon stuff, specifically callings, you know, there's like a couple of callings that dungeons can apply to. And I'm never 100% sure whether or not Mythic Plus will work, because I feel like sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And I might be wrong. I might be just misremembering or misunderstanding. Okay, so in the meantime, I should go to... I want to start working towards... Yeah, we can do Maldraxxus. So you can take me back to here, and then I can go there to... Oh, I should do the Purity Chest just while I'm out here, because... why do I do the Purity Chest? I do it for Medallions of Service. That's why I do it. Looking healthy. I disenchanted your cat? No. Farming Anima for anything special or just for fun? Kind of for fun. Mostly just reveling in the joys of getting more of it than I had been used to getting beforehand because of these Anima hotfixes. It's just very fun to do the same thing you didn't really want to do before, but then get more for it, you know? It's amazing how motivating that is. Laura Chaos giving out 5 gift subs. Thank you very, 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 very much. And then JMarnaughty99 with a $25 tip. Amazing news. I got 12B 2 weeks ago and then just got Blazing Drake this past Sunday. I never have to run Dragon Soul again. Plus, I got Mail Muncher on Easter Sunday. Congrats, JMarnaughty. That is some excellent luck. Fantastic. Thank you very, very much. More Anima. I legit thought that the tip said that you lost 12 pounds. No. Experiment 12B, I'm sure you've caught up by now, but the Dragon Soul mount. Oh, man. I do not think, like any normal person, and I won't stay on this topic very long, but like any normal person, I think my weight will fluctuate. But that's a larger radius than I think I could accommodate fluctuations. Oh, man. How much more Anima? So, yeah, every time... Supermet linked you the post, and it will make more sense if you read it. But there are new achievements that you get every time you upgrade all of your Sanctum buildings to a new threshold. So when you get them all to rank 1, all to rank 2, all to rank 3, all to rank 4. I guess just 3. Sorry. 1, 2, and 3. Every time you do that, you're going to start getting more Anima from world quests and dungeons and raid and stuff. Every time you would have gotten a singular... Every time you would have gotten one... You get an extra... Just read it. It's I can't say good. Words bad. Word sense making no good. Oh man, I saw 12B. Interesting thing to tip for. No. I have neither of those still, and it hurts my soul every time I have to stand around listening to Green Cheese wax dramatic about how he won't fail this world. Oh man, Chubby Gemini with a 4-month resub. Thank you very much. I should level a Night Fae up. There's so many mounts and pets and reputations and other sources there too. With more Anima coming now. Unfortunately, these Anima buffs are not account-wide, so you would need to do it on each new character. However, there is now like an end in sight for farming all the Anima to buy the stuff for one Covenant, which means that I can... My plan is to work on them all sequentially, so like not all together, one at a time. I want to get all the Kyrian stuff that I can and then work through each of the 4 Covenants, because I have... Or at least I will have, once I finish leveling that Fire Mage, 1 character for each Covenant at level 60. And then, should I do the Javelin? Should I just grab it? Should I just have that? I'm gonna use it on the... Can you use it on the boss? I think you can use it on the boss. I feel like I used to use these on, whatchamacallit? Oh, I can steward. Oh no, I can't steward! My steward's on cooldown! Oh no! I was gonna say, use it on, whatchamacallit? Trying to one phase Mr. Abomination Room Magoo, you know. I'm gonna power infusion this mage because they're doing grown-up damage and that should help. And I'm gonna do some damage too. Dakota, thank you very, very, very much for the bits. Also, Under the Disc, thank you for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Appreciate it. I wish the cheese were account wide, but Covenant specific. Huh. I can't say that would do me any good, but I do see where you're coming from. Watch the stream. Good night. Almost 1 a.m. in EU. See you later. My guild is still mad at me for getting invincible in 12 tries. Oh, never drop him out ever again. 12 is pretty good. It's pretty toasty. I don't understand. Why do Hazel viewers love Winter so much that they're asking Winter to stay? Something is going over my head. Are you overall satisfied with Shadowlands? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know how you think so. Yeah, I am. Mind you, my standards seem lower than other people's. A lot of the things that people have complained about in common places of complaint, such as Twitter and forums and, you know, Wowhead comments, those I have never shared most of those grievances. I can understand where they come from, but they don't make me feel anything. I mostly just want, you know, play game, do dungeon, do raid, collect stuff, PvP. Good stuff. And it's been great for that. Cannot say anything too bad. What do I not like about Shadowlands? I don't like the Maw, but thankfully, I don't have to really go. I haven't been to the Maw in a Maw... I don't have a pun. I haven't been to the Maw in ages. I could not really tell you when the last time I went was. I guess I'm going to go today just to get some souls, but for the most part, I avoid it, and that's fine. I appreciate that the game lets me avoid the content that I don't want to do. I may have butt pulled that, but that's fine. We're not worried about it. I am 3, 4, overgeared for this content. This is a heroic, and I am heroic raid geared, so I am confident that I can heal us through most things. Probably not everything, you know. One-shots are still one-shots. Also, I've been silenced. That's a bummer. But, got your heal, or your fear. Speaking of fears, be gone. Well, gets you to the same point. Squish.net, thank you for the 8-month resub. Whoa, 8 months. I'm going to flex again that I got the Astral Cloud Serpent twice in back-to-back runs. Your Priest Bud's just so shiny. Yeah, I sometimes know where I'm standing, and sometimes I don't. I would pay more attention if I was in, like, a Mythic, but I just have really utmost confidence. Oh, we're Javelining. Javelining with at least one of them. Do I have... Oh, no, I used Power Infusion to myself so I could heal that. Which, you know, honestly, reasonable call. Fine. It's been a moment since I've been in the Maw. There you go. That's what I was thinking. I don't hear meowing. I don't know what I did to my Weakora. I haven't heard meowing. I think maybe I have the sound channel muted. Or maybe it's just turned down too much. Oh, there we go. There we go. I heard it. Or maybe I'm just such an astonishingly good healer now that I refresh it before it gets to 5 seconds. Also, you know, the hotfixes made it last 20 seconds instead of 15, which is a big deal for helping prevent that. But yeah. You deserve to give yourself a slice of PI sometimes. Oh, man. I was talking so excitedly the other day about the grapefruits that I had in my fridge, and I still haven't had any yet because yesterday I went into my fridge and I was like, ooh, dessert time. And then I picked out a little mini cheesecake I'd bought at the grocery store, and I ate that instead. And honestly, worth it. I lurked on some mount collector streams today. Turns out 9.1 will have mounts to buy from Stygia, so Maw will be a thing for collection in 9.1. Okay. All right. Alrighty. Rue. That's fine. Oh wow, we're already. Oh no, oh no. That's fine. Yeah, the Maw already has stuff to collect. I had just been kind of half sort of getting by buying a lot of it, but I was gonna have to go back and do it eventually for that the Maw mount that they added in 905. I haven't done that yet, and I've been meaning to for a video. So at some point, can I wanna which button? Do I still have a keybound? No, I don't. Here, let's just do this. I'll just hard click it. Oh, it's gone. Okay. As a priest, you can shackle undead, and it's useful for locking down mages when in this section if you need to. Sounds like you need grapefruit cheesecake. Citrus cheesecake doesn't sound like something I really want. I feel like I'm not against a fruity cheesecake, but I'm thinking like raspberries, strawberries, or, you know, you can go in like the coffee chocolate caramel flavor conversation direction. I still have this spear. I'm gonna save my spear for the first down phase on Sam McGee. I don't know why I cannot remember his name. I got that one in Druid. Took around 3 to 4 hours. I'm out. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably my plan. I wasn't in a big hurry because I already had the Corridor Creeper, and more importantly, I was never going to the Maw. But yeah, I do want to get mounts. At least once I get kind of caught up with the mounts that I already that I wanted more. Now that I have Blanchy done, that was a big one on my list. Okay. I'm assuming the mages. Yeah, the mage is geared. Does the warlock want these? No. Okay. Here, you can have that one. Stitch flesh. You guys ever go through a poetry phase? I haven't had one as an adult, but in school growing up, at a couple of times, there would be poetry units where we were required to like memorize poems or present poems, write poems. And I was kind of led to believe that they would be a larger part of everyday life than they have turned out to be. I'm not saying that nobody reads. I'm saying that very few people actively read poetry in 2021. Uh-oh, spaghetti. Let's do a little bit of this. And then we'll do a little bit of this. Some of that. Some of this. The end caps are going to get us if we're not careful. The corpse collectors, I think, do that. Drain fluids. Okay, that'll work. But I very much remember reading or studying, or I feel like the cremation of Sam McGee came up more than once, like in separate years, in separate schools. I feel like that was just, I wonder if it's a Canadian poem, because I feel like there's often an emphasis on Canadian literature in Canadian curriculum, which makes sense. But Robert, what, Frost? Robert something. And that one just kept coming up. Hi Hazel, how are you? Hello, I'm doing pretty good. Reading a lot of WoW books, currently on WoW Chronicle 2. Reminds me of that incredibly embarrassing moment when I tried to give you a piece of mail gear in your Venthyr Priest. That was a very, very nice thought. I was terrible at poems. I used to pull out my Ginsberg collection and go sit at an indie coffee shop when I was 18, 19 because I thought it made me seem cool and intellectual. Oh, man. So I appreciate the... oh, I didn't quite get it. I appreciate the feeling. I do think, though, of all of the things that people do when they're 18 to seem cool, you know, reading literature in a coffee shop, you know, it could have been worse. You could have been jumping off bridges or, like, drunk driving, and you just chose to read some poetry. I think you're doing okay. They made me take writing in cursive back in primary school. Turns out it wasn't that useful. Same. I feel like I was one of the last years, at least in my school. I feel like it was not very long after I took those classes, the cursive lessons, that they stopped requiring them, and then eventually they were not needed. So I learned how to write in cursive in school, and I'm glad that I did, because I use cursive every day for writing in, like if I use a paper journal to help me keep track of stuff. I call it my quest log. I am too much. And cursive is just faster. And sometimes I will kind of lapse, especially if I'm writing on like a whiteboard. I will lapse into a abomination of a combined half cursive. Like I'll slip in and out of cursive and printing. But my cursive certainly looks a lot nicer than my printing. And it's not impossible to read. It's not easy to read. I don't think anybody's cursive is super easy to read. But compared to some people that I've read, it's all right. And it looks nicer than my printing. I don't have cute printing. I used to be so jealous of the girls in school when I was growing up that had like really cute, like they'd have like those really neat like bubble letters, or like not bubble letters, but they would be very round and adorable. And mine did not look like that. And I was never able to make them look like that. My hand-eye coordination was subpar for my age. But yeah, I'm glad I learned that one. I bet you that's going to be like a thing for, if it's not already, I bet you that's going to be a thing for like hipster teens, is to learn cursive even though they don't need it, just because, you know, there's people that learn Latin just because, right? So that's got to be a thing. Kids are learning to decode in primary schools now, which is awesome. That's fantastic. Oh, I forgot to use my spear. Oh well, I will use it on, I'll use it on, maybe we can one phase. I mean, oh no, this is the last boss. I'm going to use it on the boss. For a moment, I thought I was in Spires of Ascension. Making a journal for WoW? No. It's more of a bullet journal, to be honest. Although without any of the generally accepted formatting. Okay. I am spearing. There we go. And then we all get out of the way, and there you go. Beware. And then for this, we move. We do not play chicken with swirls. Don't run into me. Excuse me, I'm walking over here. Cursive is faster. That was like the point, is that because you don't have to pick up your pen as much, you can do it much more quickly. Oh, you want a power infusion? There you go. Okie dokie. So there's the Origin of Death. I will turn that in next time I am in Orbus. Thank the nice people. Thank you. It's the extent of how much I talk in groups. At school, we learned Latin because it was the basis of modern languages, but I thought it was silly because I speak a modern language already. I mean, it might make more sense if you intended to learn more languages that had come from it, because then you would be able to see some of the common roots of different words, but yeah. I certainly never learned, I never learned Latin. I don't think it was offered in my school. When I was younger, I always wondered if they secretly gave girls different handwriting lessons because they did A's like the typed one. Did the old circle line. Yeah, I don't know. If there was a secret feminine handwriting class, I missed it. I was not invited. I am now doing Maldraxxus Ardenweald. Okay, so I'm gonna portal here. I'm still not gonna turn in. Part of you wants to. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just flight path all the way there, and then I'm gonna take a real quick break. Little midstream break while I'm on my way. We'll go do the Maldraxxus one first. There's only one out in Maldraxxus. I do have pocket portals, but, you know, they're for special occasions. They're for emergencies. Oh, 140 anima, though. Okay, I am going to be right back. Oh, I didn't press the button. Who I found. She may or may not stay. Unclear. Hey, Muffin. You having a good nap? You're warm. She found a sunny spot to lay, so she may go back to that. Feral Druid using Prowl. Posture check. You know, I always knew that my posture involved my shoulders being slumped and my head being too far forward. But it wasn't until relatively recently that I realized I also had, like an anterior pelvic tilt and that I need to, like, tuck my abs a little bit if I want my back to be straight. Someone in chat mentioned Ravenlord, so I decided to give it a try and I got it. Congratulations. Oh, I'm minorly out of breath. I just did a bunch of stairs. I hope you're having a good day. Love your content. Thank you. I bought something recently, and it remains to be seen whether this was a useful item that I will be glad I purchased and put so much time into reading reviews for, or if this was a poor idea that I will not get very much use out of. But I bought myself a picnic blanket because when I was at the park and I was seated near the pond and I was observing the ducks, I realized I wanted to sit, but I didn't have like anything to sit on, so I had a hoodie at the time. I took off the hoodie and I just sat on that. But I was like, this is an inelegant solution, and it was also a lovely day. There's lovely weather. Parks, sitting near ducks is a free thing to do, and I need stuff to do. I need stuff to go out and do. Free is good. Outdoors is great, So I decided, heck it, they're like $20 to $30. I'm getting a picnic blanket. And I went online and I looked through them, and then I found one that had really good reviews, but it was only available in patterns that I personally found kind of ugly. So then I went and got one that also had good reviews, not quite as good, not quite as stellar as the first one, but it came in a plaid, and I really wanted a plaid picnic blanket. I don't know why. I just want to, I also kind of want like a plaid button-up shirt. I don't really know why I'm going through my lumberjack desire to look like a lumberjack phase now. I feel like that was a couple of years ago, but I see people wearing them and they look so comfy. That was when I was almost mugged by ducks, true. High utility, good to have on hand. I figure I could just keep it in the car. And then it also, doubles as a beach blanket if I were to ever go to a beach. If you ever, it's kind of basically like a fluffier tarp, right? I think the term is lumberchill. Your Canadian embrace the flannel. Yeah, I'm feeling some flannel. I feel like when I eventually go back, assuming that I have the budget for it, I want to invest in some high quality flannel, hit up some roots or something like that. Do you think it's too late to love an alt? Oh, it's never too late. Oh man, yeah, no, I'm gonna be all about that. Growing up, we had winter sheets that Mom would only bring them out in the winter because it had to be really cold to use them, but they were flannel sheets. I think they were plaid. I guess I don't specifically remember if they were plaid. They must have been, but they were flannel sheets that you get on bed just for the colder months. And gosh, they were the best. They were so, so warm. It would be way too warm to have in the summer, which is why they're seasonal. And honestly, if your house doesn't get that cold in the winter, then it would be no good. But growing up, we had the house that I grew up in was heated with a wood stove. So in order to heat the house, I think there were also electric heaters. We just didn't use them. It wasn't like a shack in the woods, but it was a wood burning stove. So if you wanted heat, you needed to run a fire. And one thing that is good about fires is don't leave them on, don't leave them lit when you're sleeping. So we would run the fire in the evening, but then we would, put it out at night, or at the very least bank it down or something. I don't know, I was a kid. But as a result, the house would kind of get colder and colder overnight, and then it would be pretty chilly in the morning, but then that's fine because you're getting up and you're going about your day. You got to go outside and feed the chickens anyways, and it's going to be icy out there, so just get used to it now. So maybe that was part of why it was so nice to have the really fluffy warm sheets, is because it would get kind of chilly in the house overnight because of that. Although we did have electric heaters. I think we just mostly didn't use them. This quest is so long. It certainly seems this way. I'm hoping that because I'm getting what feels like a slightly rudely low amount of percentage from each mob that I'm killing. That was 5. That, once I'm done, I'll be done. But I guess I don't know. I don't know if I've done this one. Flannel so diverse you can go from Vivian Westwood, your middle-aged uncle. I think also, like a lot of clothing items that have kind of a theme or a vibe, if you don't want to commit entirely to the whole theme or vibe and have it be costumey, you can take just one item of clothing that has said theme or vibe and then pair it with contrasting or just very neutral clothes to make an outfit that's got a little bit of the essence but is more reasonable. As an example, if I wanted to... What is an example? I mean, I guess in the flannel example, if I put on a big oversized flannel shirt and I put on big oversized jeans and I put on big work boots and then a trucker cap, then I am going to look like a lumberjack. But if I take the oversized flannel shirt and then you have like some nice leggings, or you tie it up and then you've got like a skirt, or I don't know about that actually, or like you've got like a... You contrast things with it that will bring the outfit back down. I feel like outfits are kind of like recipes where, you can temper the effect of one thing by adding a different thing that is still complementary but has a different tone. If you've started your rank 2 mission table, I think you should get the achievement for all rank 2s if you relog on the character. Oh. Well, just in case that's true, I'm going to do that then. I'm going to just quit right out of this game, and I'm going to load it back up and see just in case I get more, I've been doing my callings again because old world profession leveling has made me poor. You put on that outfit, you're gonna get hit on by women. My female friend is insisting that I impart that knowledge in chat. Oh man. I don't think that my lifestyle really leads me to get hit on, at least in person, by anybody, really. I don't really go near people. Although there was, I was in a grocery store, and this isn't a flirting story or anything, but there was a woman there, and she was a fair bit shorter than me. She was probably like 3, 5, 5. The point of it is that she was trying to get something on the top shelf, and she was having some difficulty. She had taken a box and was attempting to use that box to knock something on the shelf to help bring the thing closer. And I saw her do this, and I kind of gave her some space, and then she was like still working on it. And I was like, oh, I want to offer to help, and I don't want to offend her. And eventually I very shyly asked if she would like help or if I could offer help. And then she did not seem offended, and she politely declined. So I allowed her to continue her quest unimpeded. But that did cross my mind. You do go to the park and get hit on by ducks, so there is that. So the quest is now still continuing to offer 4 items. So if I did... I guess I don't know what it offered before. I didn't really check my quests before I put in the upgrade. It's possible that it's in effect, but either way, it's still a lot of anima. I'm hilariously obtuse with noticing anything like getting hit on. My friends get infuriated at my blindness. I mean, it's probably a safe way to be, especially because some people are just really friendly, and some people just have an aura that makes them give off that impression when that's not what they mean at all. So, you know, erring on the side of being obtuse is probably the safer bet just for everybody. Tell people helping is always appreciated, but almost never happens. Yeah, I was genuinely like kind of paralyzed as to what to do, because I wanted to help and I understood that I could get the thing quite easily. But I also know that I can be very, like, if it was the reverse, if I'm struggling to lift something, generally speaking, I mostly just want to struggle with it on my own. And I don't think I'd be upset if somebody offered to help, but I'm also not going to let them do it unless I'm like genuinely in danger of snapping. So I figured politely asking was probably the safest bet, but I was also kind of prepared for her to feel patronized or annoyed. And maybe she didn't. She just kept it on the inside. Yeah, it was 4 before you logged off. Imagine if you pick up the item she was trying to get, just put it in your basket. Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, I'm also in a grocery store. I specifically will not approach anybody. Like if somebody is standing in front of the selection of olives and I've decided that I need olives, I will wait for them to leave. I do not want to get anywhere near people. It is still a pandemic, so I am keeping my distance and just finding other things to look for until they wander on. If they're really camped up there and it's been like 15 minutes, I may ask if I can get in there, but I'm not going to just try to elbow my way in because COVID. Hazel, I came to Twitch. I was amazed when I saw the thumbnail just showing how gorgeous your hair is. Aw, shucks. I don't want to bother people in public, but in Sweden we're socially awkward to begin with. I let short ladies fight their own box battles unless they ask me for aid. That's also, I think, a reasonable sentiment. People do have the power to ask for help. Other people have the power to ask for help. I have not acquired that skill, but it is available to me. Cork, thank you for the 14-month resub. Olive campers are the worst. Oh, man. I did have one lady tell me, baby, why did you do that? My daughter would have got that for you. That's why I go grocery shopping at 7 a.m. I just cough. These days that makes people shuffle along a little quicker. 100% give people space. Also true, yeah. When I was a kid, I had the experience that was probably fairly common, but you know when you're a child and you're just like kind of oblivious, and you're in the grocery store and your mom or whoever, whatever adults you're there with is like, oh, get out of the way because there's somebody behind you that's like trying to get through and you're just not looking because you're 9. For whatever reason, scarred me. I am now and have been ever since incredibly worried about being in the way in public spaces because, you know, a handful of times when I was a kid, somebody would tell me, not even harshly, but just suddenly, you gotta move, you're in the way, and that embarrassed me so deeply that I am forever concerned about being in the way, so I'm like hyper vigilant about who is near me and who I am near and which way I'm going, and, you know, trying to be very, very considerate of other people because I just do not want to be in the way, and that is beneficial. That instinct helps now, especially. But, yeah, I did not have the moral, I did not have the gritty nerves to shake that one off as a kid. Before the pandemic, I was in a tiny corner store. These ladies were having a nice chat in front of what I was looking for. I waited 5 minutes. Oh, man. That's odd. It happened to me constantly. I was never aware of my position in space, especially if I was allowed to read my Disney Adventures magazine. Yeah, I don't even know what I would have been so distracted by. I have a lot of memories growing up that involved me staring at things and trying to observe every aspect of them. Like, I would be, you know, because when you're a kid, your whole life is, like, waiting for other people. Like, you're just tagging along to the store and tagging along grocery shopping and tagging along to your sister's rehearsal or whatever. And you're basically just there because, you know, you're not allowed to be alone yet and other people have stuff to do. So you're just kind of, like, waiting, right? You're just eternally waiting. Hey, Muffin. To occupy myself in those times, especially because I was very prone to motion sickness, so I wasn't somebody that could like read in the car or anything like that. I would just observe things to the maximum capacity. I would like, you know, count every flower on like a wallpaper, or, you know, try to calculate or figure out what exactly I would describe the color of a carpet as, stuff like that. Floors and ceilings, a lot of floors and ceilings. I would, you know, look for imperfections in like the plastic molding of the thing that bus railings are held into. Just whenever I was waiting for something, I would try to just look at stuff, I guess. And I forgot where I was going with that, but I think in grocery stores, maybe that's why I was so oblivious, is because I would just be memorizing the wall of cereal for really no reason. And I don't think it was that compulsive. Like, I wasn't upset if I had to leave the wall of cereal. That's just how I kept busy. I am going to Ardenweald next, and then I have two more world quests to do in Ardenweald, and then I do another dungeon. We do Miss Eternus Scythe. Momentary hyperfixations. I did that a lot if I wasn't provided with stimulus. Gave me a plan on Friday? Maybe Valheim. I'm feeling Valheim more. I know I had kind of a rough time on it last time, but I am in a better spot. I now have my boat. I figured out that I was going way too far for silver. I have a perfectly good silver area that is not a far sail from home, so I've set myself up. Also, I went home with a small batch of silver so that I could start making myself some wolf armor and stuff, so I'm in much better shape to progress in Valheim. So probably Valheim for the bump back Friday stream. I was going Ardenweald is where I was heading. No, yes. Peppers. Ardenweald, yes, that's right. I was going to say no Maldraxxus, but I just did that. Dramatically Dead with a 6-month resub and a fantastic name. Thank you very, very much. Also, Solison had a brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I met a Squirrel Squatter in Perdition Hold yesterday. Do you start Shadowlands leveling at 48? I'm actually reading chat to find out. Lux says you can, so you can. Keep getting good experience in your Chromie time up until level 50. I see. Why do villains in WoW always succeed? I'd love a pitiful villain who fails and you can't help but feel kind of bad for them. I mean, ultimately the villains tend to fail, right? You know, because otherwise we wouldn't succeed. But okay, you got a point. Have you met Kel'Thuzad or Ner'zhul? They just keep getting second chances. No, I'm not going to turn that in because I don't need to yet. What I need to do is I need to fly to Ardenweald. It is so easy for me to get sidetracked at this game. Dramatically Dead giving out a gift sub. Thank you very, very much. Do we have any comical buffoon villains? I'm thinking gnomes. Like mecha gnomes. King Mechagon was kind of a comic book villain, but maybe just in like tone and not so much in actions. I don't really remember. That was such a comic book style storyline though, right? Or not even comic book, but like Saturday morning cartoons. Millhouse Manastorm, Gallywix. Yeah, I feel like gnome and goblin villains. Although Gallywix is surprisingly and unfortunately successful. How many times has Kael'thas been a boss? I guess Nathria doesn't really count. Oh, man. Kitty cat, you are so cute. You are so cute. How are you this cute? She's starting to get used to coming downstairs. I was resigning myself to just having an upstairs cat, but she's started to, now that I think she just needed a good place to sit, and she didn't like the bed that I had down there, but now that she's figured out that she can sit on my chair. Yeah, look, there you go. She's so soft. Hi. I understand that she's not necessarily super cute in like the stereotypical way that you see like the munchkin cats or, you know, cats that have like the really, really big eyes. She's got like kind of a small head And then her ears are like a little, I don't know if they're big, but she's just got such a sweet personality that she could look like anything and I would be on board. Dramatically Dead giving out gift subs. Total of 5 so far. Thank you very, very, very much. Congrats to those who picked him up. By the way, am I the only one who's over my head excited by the new shoulder transmog change? No, I'm glad that they got that one working. I kind of thought that we had heard the last of it. And it seems that it is happening after all. I wanted to test it. I wanted to try it on the PTR because I wanted to try one hidden and then one visible because I think that's mostly what I'm gonna do. I'm probably not gonna do a ton of mismatched shoulders, although maybe. But when I mounted up on my transmog mountain, then my game crashed. I cannot run Magister's Terrace without remembering the week or two that Kael'thas was bald in there due to a bug. I did not know that happened. Did you just call your cat not cute? I mean, I think that in typical beauty standards, in typical cat beauty standards, she's probably not up there. But I also think that is not the important thing. And she, because of how adorably she behaves and is, and also she still looks pretty stinking cute. She would be the world's cutest cat to me no matter what. I often didn't understand the point of hairless cats because cats are cute and they are nightmare fuel. But I also have never met a hairless cat. And I betcha if you gave me a hairless cat and it was like a really sweet, cuddly, affectionate one, I would probably think it was super, super cute just because of the personality over time. Because almost anything is cute enough if it's like nice and it loves you, right? Jester, thank you for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I have a Sphinx cat. Oh, man. Hairless Kael'thas for anyone who missed it at the time. Mostly seen hairless cats for people allergic to cat hair. That's true. It's like having a personal gargoyle pet. I do feel like, also, how on earth does this work? Oh, yeah, good memories collected. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I do think that there's something kind of hip or kind of fashionable about, I'm just imagining a hairless cat in like a really chic apartment, you know? It's got just really deliberately chosen furniture that you've never seen before, but somehow it all just kind of works. You know, the cat's like on a green velvet chair and you're like, and you've never seen a green velvet chair that you liked before you saw this one, that kind of thing. I'm imagining somebody owning a Sphinx cat as also just having really impeccable taste otherwise, and the presence of the other really good taste kind of validates the purpose of the Sphinx cat, you know? Not cats, but we had hairless rats for a while. They were super smart, very cuddly. Most things seem cute as a baby version. When or why did you switch from gnome main? Did you race change or is this new character? So I made a new character. The gnome does still exist. And I switched because I wanted to be a human. The gnome was originally rolled as a human. She race changed to a gnome in Legion. And I was feeling like I wanted to be a human for the rep bonus, for the model, for the viewability of transmog, for the racials on top of just the rep bonus. And it just felt like the right time. I made that decision knowing that it may disappoint some people because I know the gnome is kind of iconic, but I still have her. I just wanted to be a human main. And I figure the day that I start doing things in WoW that I don't, well, the day that I stop doing things in WoW that I want to do is not a good day for my future, right? Like, I understand that making content and streaming in YouTube involves, you know, sometimes I'll log into WoW and I'm getting footage for a video, so that's not what I normally would have done on WoW. But in my own free time, or like for my own main character or whatever, I'm always going to do the thing that feels fun to me, because the day that I lose the thread of WoW being fun for me does not bode well for the rest of my happiness. I think part of the reason I've been able to do this so long and still have a good time with it is because I'm pretty selfish about how I spend my time in WoW and the kind of things that I play and do. If I'm not having fun with something, you're not going to catch me doing it for fun. I guess that's a redundant statement, but you feel me. I struggled with the smaller races and the beast races for the same reason. Why did you not just race change? I'm really cheap. I'm really cheap when it comes to WoW services, and I like leveling, so an excuse to make a brand new priest, plus that gives me the option to chicken out, because it's not the first time that I said that I was going to, it was not the first time I said I was going to be a non-gnome race. When Void Elves first came out, I leveled a Void Elf, and I thought that I was going to be a Void Elf priest main, but then when it came time, I couldn't do it. So I was glad that I still had the gnome priest, and I had never race changed because I ended up not doing it. So I wanted to leave that door open to me again, but I did do it this time. It's not fun, don't do it. Title of my autobiography. Could you write off a race change as a business expense? I mean, can you? Sure. Will the IRS buy it if and when they decide to audit you? Up for debate. Do I want to go there? I am fairly conservative with what I claim. But also I don't really spend a whole lot of money on WoW and game stuff anymore. I used to buy like a lot of merch and stuff, but I got to a point where I had enough of it, right? Like, WoW plushies and canvases, as long as you can keep them in good shape when you move, you don't really need to replace them. So once you have them, you're good. I remember your Void Elf Priest leveling. It was during the leveling revamp in Legion. Watched a lot of that. It was a fun leveling thing. I was so convinced that was my future. Like that was when I first dyed my hair too. Because I was going Void Elf. Give me the purple hair and the brand new character and I'm off to the races, and then I just chickened out because I couldn't not be a gnome at that time. In some countries go for it. In the USA, no. IRS gets saucy and spicy. Would you believe I don't feel the same animosity towards the IRS that a lot of people do, mostly just because I'm sure that like a lot of government agencies right now, they are overworked and stretched too thin, especially with COVID and everything going along with that. So I'm not too worried. I'm not too concerned about it. I try to do my best due diligence on my returns, both for my own benefit because I do not want to be audited, and also because, I'm not trying to make anybody else's job any harder than it has to be. I had a call with my accountant this morning and straightened out some stuff, and it turns out I do owe kind of like a lot of tax. But I mean, that's fine. It's not like I spent the money in the meantime. I try not to spend unless I need to so that I have it available in case there is like a tax bill or something like that. I just earned more in 2020 than we had expected to because 2020 was a good year, I think, for a lot of online content creators because a lot of people had time to watch content. But I feel like I was going somewhere with this sentence that wasn't just flexing. Ah, well. Taxes are less scary when you understand them. Or when you pay somebody to understand them for you. You even Void Elf your hair at the time? Yeah. Another good quest to do in a random group? I see. Do people list it? Custom find rot briar? Unlock customization option for your necrotic acolyte disguise. Huh. I mean, I'm not doing that, but that's neat. Flex, this emote exists for a reason. I think that's probably one of the least used emotes, possibly just because it doesn't come up a whole lot. But I like that one. I think some of the Hazley emotes, especially now that the hair is like not that far off color-wise, I think some of those are cute. I do still have more emote slots. But that's been true for over a year now, so I wouldn't hold your breath. Taxes get automatically deducted from your wages. Is that a US thing? It depends. For most people, I would guess 90% of people. I have no idea. I made that stat up. But most people, if you're working for an employer, generally speaking, they're going to withhold your taxes, and it happens automatically. So that when you file your tax return, you do still have to file your return and show your income and whatever, but they give you money back as a tax return because your withholdings are usually more than your tax burden. For me, because I am self-employed, nobody is withholding tax for me. Google and Twitch, Amazon, Patreon, Teespring, PayPal, etc. They give me the money that I earn as is. And I then have to make estimated tax payments where there's a formula you can use to calculate how much you think you're going to owe based on how much you think you're going to make, which is a fun game. And then 4 times a year, you pay that amount in advance. And then at the end of the year, if you paid too much, you get it back. Chances are you didn't pay enough, or at least for me lately, I have not been paying enough because usually my estimates are low. And then you pay more at the end of the year. So because I am self-employed, I pay estimated payments, but also for a few years running, I have been making payments at the end of the tax, like when you file taxes, just to even up, because the estimateds did not be good enough because you guys surprise me every day. In Australia, it's the same. Have you lost many followers after Twitch's purge? I have no idea. I genuinely don't know how many I had before. I guess I don't know how many I have now. How many do I have now? 88,000. Yikes. That feels like too many. Yeah, I have no idea. Can't be humble when it comes to taxes. My my accountant, when I was talking to her today, she was like, wow, your business did really well in 2020. And I'm like, yeah, it was a great year. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, it was a bad year. It was a good year for the business. It was not, I'm not saying it was a good year. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. That came off very poorly. And she understood what I was trying to say. But yeah, bad year for Planet. Good year for Twitch, ? Uncomfortable. Looks at 300K on YouTube. That one's odd to me. I want to work on YouTube a lot more. That's part of my current plan. What I'm dumping time into is I really want to get more regular YouTube content off the ground, because that's the real fun stuff. I also enjoy streaming, but I feel like my stream doesn't need any more from me than what I'm currently giving it, and that I'm at that 80% point where anything extra that I would put into it is going to be for diminishing returns. Wasn't that bad for the planet? All the animals came out of the woods. Yeah, but like, you know, forest fires, hurricanes. There's some squirrels in the woods of California that are probably, a little toasty. Chandru, thank you for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Yeah, it's been a crazy year. Would you ever go back to streaming on YouTube? To be entirely transparent, if they paid me a lot, like I would do it for a disgusting and questionably unethical amount of money. Short of a disgusting and questionably unethical amount of money, nah. I am comfy here. The setup works for me. It is the place where streams are. I am not happy with everything about Twitch, but for my needs, it does the job good. Thank you for your tax talk, reminding me to send mine in. How many gift subs to stream on YouTube? More than, nobody wants that. I'm sure somebody wants that. There has to be one poor person that used to watch my stream on YouTube that did not understand where it went and would be very excited if I ever turned that on again, because they didn't know that there had been streams in the interim, despite VoDs being on YouTube and stuff. But yeah, no, I think for the most part, this is the place where it makes sense to be for now. So I've done every Anima World quest. Is that true? Is that correct? What time is it? 4:30? All right. Looks like I've done all the Anima World quests. Looks like it is time for me to do Mists of Tyrnus Scythe for my other specific dungeons. Mists of Tyrnus Scythe. I want to heal it on normal or on heroic, either or. And then that'll do my other weekly quest. Let's go Hearth back to Bastion. I want a number. I don't want to pay the number. I'm nosy like that. Raise his hand. Oh, man. Understand the business point of view. Wish streams were slightly longer. There's probably an argument for doing them longer. I don't know that I do 2-hour streams for business. I think I do 2-hour streams because that's what I can sustain. I think that if I started lining myself up for 3 hours a day, I would be at risk of burning out and then not, canceling more and showing up late and having them be spottier. And I would rather have short and consistent than longer and burny outy. Hensa, thank you for the 12-month resub. Happy year anniversary. Hope you're having a good evening. Got my second shot, so I am. Congratulations. Amazon Prime sub is nice. Yeah, it would need to be a lot just to make up for the lack of Prime subs, right? Oh, are you happy with the color temperature now? Let me see. Let me pull this up on this screen, and then I look at it over here. Yeah, it looks reasonable. It seems fine. I don't know what I was really looking at the other day, because I haven't changed it. Yeah, that looks okay. That looks about right. I was also, sometimes I will go back and I will watch my stream VODs, and it looks fine, but at the time when I was doing it, it looked awful. But it's the same content. It's just that sometimes in the moment, I will have a very skewed vision of what something looks like or how it comes off. And then when I reflect on it later, because there's recordings, I go, hey, that was actually totally fine. The sound was fine. The energy was fine. The lighting, the color, it was all fine. I don't know why I was so worried about this being a horrible stream. And there's just like kind of sometimes an in the moment distortion about that. Mancha, thank you for the 3-month resub. What do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear? I like that one. Seems to be blending a little better tone-wise. I think part of it is also I'm wearing a neutral colored shirt today, and I think on that day I was wearing blue. Vivid colors are gonna mess with it a little bit, but it's fine. I do use a LUT. So the camera is a Sony a7 III. It is a mirrorless camera, and I use a neutral color profile on that, but I run it through a LUT and OBS. But I manage the color temperature in the camera. That's also part of the business, job, and work-life balance as a whole. How did you create a job out of playing WoW? I would argue that the job is less about playing WoW. I understand that that's the way it comes off when you're looking at videos and streams, but it's less about playing WoW and it's more about creating internet content, entertainment content based around the game. So you could say that the job is making YouTube videos and then also streams. And I got my job to be that by doing that for no money for years until eventually it started to make money, and then I could tell people that it was my job, and then they couldn't argue with me because I was making enough money for it to be a job. That's how I started doing it. Is I just started doing it for free, and then I did it for free for years. I started in 2013, and I made no money in 2013, like $0. I didn't even turn on monetization until somewhere in the 14, 15, and then I think I spent probably 1 or 2 years making under $100 a month, which is not job levels, that's hobby levels. And I don't think it was until 2017, I think 2017 I made minimum wage, and then 2018-19 I did quite a bit better, and then 2020 because of 2020, and also because my channel grew a fair amount. 2020 doubled 2019, which is nice for me. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys. So yeah, 2013 was 8 years ago. Of 8 years, yeah, half of it was for free. And arguably I put in more time early. But that's just how that goes. Lots of people get it done a lot faster. Lots of people get to a point where they are profitable much quicker than that. I just didn't learn fast. And I spent lots of time, there's value in making mistakes. You can learn from it, but sometimes I would make a mistake and then I would make it another 107 times and then I would learn from it. And it just, it's a process. Great news. According to Social Blade, you lost 0 followers after the purge. Well, that's good. Let's OBS are great. Yeah. I was very intimidated by it because I was like, what's a LUT? And I looked it up and it's a lookup table. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I was like very rapidly getting over my head. And then I just watched a YouTube video about how to make one in Photoshop. And I'm like, oh, I know how to play with the sliders. And then I just made them in Photoshop because it's really just a lot of playing with sliders. And I know how to do that. 2018 is when I started seeing your videos. Yeah, that was definitely when I started to take off a little bit more. That was BFA, right? I think I was pretty low-key through Legion. And then Warlords, I made a lot of content in WoD, and some of it started to catch on, but I didn't really start to do raid guides until Legion, and the raid guides didn't get bigger until BFA, and I feel like after initially getting off the ground with pet guides, raid guides have been a fairly big driving force of growth anyways. Not for necessarily overall content, but for growth for sure. I missed the story. Did the repair service confirm that you fried the board? They need to call me. They haven't called me yet. I know where to find them. I guess they didn't say when they would call me, but they have not yet called me. At some point, I will call them and find out, hey, what's up? To figure that out. But yeah, no, I did drop off the camera. I have not heard back from them just yet. I dropped it off a little under a week ago. So they should probably call me. Cameron of Hyrule. There we go. There's an N in there. Thank you very, very much for the 3-month resub. I'm going to watch my screen just long enough to move if there's brambles, because I don't want to AFK in those while I'm reading chat. It's good to see someone be good at what they do, likable, and be successful financially. It's cliche and it's been said a million times, but it is really very much because people watch, which is nice. Lines up with 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert. You gotta, some people, I want to say you gotta put in time to make progress, and that's true for me, and putting in time will let you make progress. It It's also true that some people just have connections or know the right people or just have one of those personalities that is just so innately confident that they just do things before they really know how to do them, and they can just kind of like wiggle their way through life and do incredibly well just because they believe in themselves. And that's also a valid path. If you got it, go for that. You know, like if you're, you know, your dad is XQC or something, then by all means. But for the rest of us, you know, hard work gets it done. Key is this. This is normal. This is a normal Miss of Tyrna scythe because I want to get the weekly done for Anima. I found you during Legion. I need a pet battle guide for the Falcazar Legion mounts. Find people through YouTube WoW content, but I never played WoW. I just like the people. That's fascinating to me. Because sometimes I get that feedback, people saying that they don't play WoW and they've never played WoW, but they still enjoy the content. And I understand that part of my stream content, like a lot of it is not strictly related to WoW, but because WoW is such a, you know, like an in-depth kind of like shared language, it's befuddling to me. Should I be working on this? Do we know somebody else doing it? Okay. I'm totally fine with it. But then I thought, you know, I watch things on YouTube. I watch people do things on YouTube that I would never do myself. I have recently gone on a huge kick, and I know I'm like 5 years late to this party, but I have started watching Simone Yetch. She did the robots on Reddit for ages, and she engineers and she builds things. She had a really viral video where she converted a Tesla Model 3 into a pickup truck. And I have been binging everything she's ever made in her entire life because I'm just so into it. But like, I don't weld. I don't build anything. I feel extremely accomplished when I manage to use command strips to hang up a poster and have it not fall down. But I still really enjoy, you know, seeing the process and just listening to her talk about things and without needing to have any personal experience in it myself. So maybe there's an analogy there. Okay, so we're going for that one that they're right by. Lorelei, thank you for the 7-month resub. Woohoo, 7 months. Up for some YouTube channel recommendations. Honestly, throw them in there. I may not look at them, but I will have read them, and then 2 months later, when I see them a second time, independently through recommendations, I might be like, oh, hey, that's the person that Ujai said I should watch. And then the two collaborating independent sources of recommendation may be enough for me to click on it. I have to have heard about something from 2 different and independent sources before I watch it. I don't know why. Unless I'm just really bored. All right, so we are going through this one. Oh no, I did it bad. I must have not reset it. Oops. Sorry. Okay. 3D print time lapses are super relaxing for some reason. Simone is rad. Also get a kick out of Laura Kampf and Becky Stern. I watched some Laura stuff after I saw her as part of the Truckla video. I feel like that was a good rabbit hole. D'Angelo Wallace. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that stuff. What was I going to say? The thing that confuses me about D'Angelo is he has 2 channels, right? What's the difference? What does it mean? Why? Jarvis Johnson is another commentary YouTuber that does that, where there's like a main channel and a second channel, and they're the exact same type of content. And maybe the idea is that one of them is like lower effort than another one, but it feels like exactly the same stuff to me, and I do not get that. It's one of the reasons why I'm so reluctant to post content in a second channel, is I don't want to become one of those people that has 2 channels for no reason. Anarchy Moose with a 9-month resub. Finally, a sub baby. What should we name it? Partial Shriekwing. Open to suggestions. Ian K for sure. Super long videos. His video essays take a month or on one. Yeah. The ones that he started doing after he started streaming on Twitch and he started like chopping together his Twitch content were a little more okay, there we go. It was like with the chat on the screen, it's like a lot. Just for me personally, it's a little overstimulating. But yeah, the super, like the hyper long ones I definitely watched. Okay. And then here. And then that one. I'm really ruining this for myself by going in opposite ways. Like I can't just pick clockwise or counterclockwise. All right, so that was the first one. Yeah. All right, I'm confident this time. Okay. This one. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. That's okay, I can actually tank them. And then I know it says auto pass, and maybe we can just see which way the end room is. Yeah, actually you kind of can, but I still do it anyways just because it makes me feel better. I'm just gonna wait that out, that's fine. Also, it's kind of fun, even though I know I'm using an add-on, and it's kind of cheating. It's not cheating. So that was the second one that we did. It's also that one because that's where the room is, which you can clearly see through the map. But what do you do?
No fooling you. We're gonna have so much
Yeah.
fun.
I love a good long YouTube commentary or video essay watch. Possibly too much. So I had to limit myself because they're addictive. So it can be very easy to just watch like a bunch of them being like, this is all informative. It's like when you read a ton of news articles and you're like, man, I'm learning. And I mean, kind of, but you're also wasting 7 hours of your day. So I had to chill out on that. Also, I found that when I consume a lot of like educational or, you know, like really thought-provoking content, it can kind of tire out the part of my brain that I need to be productive or creative sometimes. You know, some of it's a little bit is good for inspiration, but if I really overdo it on consuming internet content, I get kind of wiped and then I'm just tired and I just want to go to bed. So I found that if I'm going to do that, I need to do it at the end of the day after I've already met all of my obligations for a given time period. Okay, we have only one flower and it's over here. I find Preach has great video essays and WoW topics. Big fan. Got work in 8 hours. Gonna go curl up in 2 duvets. Thanks for the stream. Oh, you're living the life. Hey! Oh! I got the crown of autumnal flora. Don't mind if I do. That's a bit rare, as I can tell, because I haven't had one yet. Shadowlan's been out for a minute. Wow, look at that. This is the flower crown that I thought was going to be added to Lunar Festival, but it turns out it's just in the game as a rare drop from Mistcaller and Miss Eterna Scythe. I don't know how rare, but I don't need to know anymore because I got it. Oh, I should put that on. I can after we get out of combat. Here, who wants a here tank? Take a power infusion. Finish off these mobs so I can put my cute hat on. This is video games at their finest. Give it. Oh, a crown. No, not crown. I mean, yes, crown, but... Ah! Oh no. How are they doing? Are you gonna live? Are you fine? How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how cool are you with me putting on my hat? Yeah! There we go. Yes. Speaking of the flower crown, thought it was only Mythic Plus. Apparently, it can drop on normal, because I am on normal, and it did just drop. Food for thought. Facts for cats. How do you see the check marks and item icons? I want to say that is a can I mog it thing. Chat will probably know. Yeah, I was just here for the weekly, for Anima and for some Anima and whatchamacallit, rep. Ooh, if I pick Undying Army rep with both of them, I betcha I get a Paragon cache, and then maybe I'll get really lucky and then get the Undying Army Paragon cache mount on stream. Sometimes WoW sentences have so many words in them, but then when you say all the words in the right order and you include them all and you actually say a sentence that makes sense while streaming, you get like all proud of yourself, and by you I mean me. There's like a special kind of satisfaction to spitting out a sentence like that correctly, because I know that I don't always do it. All the things can do a similar function as well. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I guess it kind of... You've collected this appearance. Oh, the little thingy at the bottom. Oh, sorry. Make sure I do not get knocked off into oblivion would be good. Under facts for cats is here to stay. I've already forgotten why I said that. I know I said it. I don't remember why. Dropping a complete jargon bomb that's actually coherent is always mildly satisfying. It's also fun to just say all the words right, because if you've ever seen like an outtakes video of a YouTuber attempting to say a sentence like 9 times in a row and it doesn't happen, that's like my life, and I'm sure the life of a lot of people that try to record sentences or voiceover or anything like that. It's something about recording and knowing that the thing that you're saying might be listened to 1,000 times plus, makes it really stressful, and sometimes can make it difficult to say something that normally you would be able to say just fine. So I know how much I occasionally struggle to spit words out. So I do all my voice warm-ups, my tongue twisters. And also something that's been kind of working for me recently is whenever there's a thing like, you know, getting Blanchy on stream or getting Lucy, you know, working on the Lucy farm, giving the speech about how it works live on stream to people helps me spit it out mostly coherently, because I know that I can't start over 9 times, or at least it's not a good idea to start over 9 times, because there's people here waiting for me to spit it out already. So I'm more capable of saying things live on stream than I am just to a recording, which you'd think it would be the other way around. You'd think that I would be more nervous because this is live, but because I know there's people waiting for me to finish talking so they can hear what I said, I'm able to just accept the first take of the way that I said it instead of stressing about like the intonation and the cadence, you know? Not even with recording, I just start saying bits of words too early in the sentence because my mouth can't move as fast as my brain. Did we get Lucy, or are we going to hear the speech again? I did get Lucy. It was off stream. That video hit YouTube. I just, instead of marketing it as a Lucy video, I decided to use the thumbnail and title to emphasize the pocket portal angle of it. After only 20 days. Do you read a lot? I do. I do read. I don't know if I read a lot of new books anymore, mostly because I don't have a library card and I'm cheap. But I've always really liked reading. I even when I've been in my most internet addicted phase, I will still have like a half an hour to an hour before bed to read. That's the thing, is I get into bed and I get my jammies and I get my my cat and I get my blanket, and then you get your book, and then you just, you know, that is the purest essence of me time is to just, you know, because it's the very end of the day and there's nothing left to do. The skincare is done, the dental care is done, the work is done, the dishes are done, maybe. There's nothing else left to worry about. There's nothing to stand in the way of me just like curling up and like really properly and truly escaping into the book. And I really treasure that time at the end of every day. Fiction, nonfiction, or both? Both. I mean, not at the same time. I'm somebody that must read one book at a time. I can't multitask them. But yeah, both. Growing up, it was mostly fiction. And then I went through a very long nonfiction phase where I was reading a lot of self-improvement books, pop psychology books. And I finally felt like I had read enough of them. They were all just referencing each other at a certain point. And they became very derivative. You know, you would read a whole chapter about the concept of grit as popularized by Angela Duckworth, and you'd be like, well, I've read Angela's book, so this, I know, right? Like, you're gonna tell me the same thing about the West Point study, and I've read this from 4 different books. I'm on board now, you know. I'm not going to become a better person for reading this a 5th time. And then I've kind of pivoted back into fiction, although mostly rereading fiction that I've gotten in the past. I don't get a whole lot of new fiction books, unless something just really strikes me from the bookstore page. I started reading Naomi Novik novels, and that was the first like fantasy stuff that was new to me that I'd read in a really long time. And then also, I'd seen that Where the Crawdads Sing, when it was a bestseller last year, or whenever that happened, 2 years ago, it was just on the bestseller list for so long that I was like, well, somebody must be onto something with this. I'll just read it. And I really liked that one. Nice, I know what you mean. Library card services like Overdrive have helped me out this last year. That duck angle really came full circle. You're not wrong, actually. Okay, so I need to stop by Ouroboros to turn in those 2 weeklies, and then I need to maybe stop by Maldraxxus if I got enough rep. I think I would have gotten enough rep. We'll see. What were the books that meant a lot to you growing up? I had a couple. I mean, I read a lot when I was a kid. I would read books that, like, I had an uncle that worked in a bookstore, so whenever there was like a new popular children's series, you know, your Harry Potter and your series of unfortunate events, like your Lemony Snicket books and your, what else was there? I'm sure there's more. Those are the only two that are coming to mind right now. But then I would run out of those, and then I would read, you know, like there'd be just like these weird leather-bound books on the shelf at my parents' house that would have, you know, like Davy Crockett and other like older fiction stories, and then when I burned through those, there were textbooks, so I read my parents' old college textbooks because I was just very bored, and also a little full of myself for a kid. What am I doing? I'm going to turn in these quests in the Audelia. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. I've always had 2-hour streams, yeah. Actually, that's not true. I used to have 90-minute streams. 2 hours was an upgrade, not a downgrade. I used to stream for an hour and a half once a week on Fridays, I think. Or maybe it was just Tuesdays, or maybe like Tuesday and Friday. I feel like there was, for a long time on YouTube, it was just 90 minutes twice a week, and that was the whole streaming schedule. I think I did that for like over a year. I'm going downstairs is where I'm going, and you can do it on either side. Mortal Engines is a good read. Easily distracted, you say? Ouroboros just is, you know, so many places you can go. Yeah, I'm so glad I got that flower crown. I don't wear them a whole lot in game, but I'm gonna wear this one because it's new. Issues with frame drops recently in Ouroboros. Not that I've noticed, but that doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. It's entirely likely that I might not have noticed. Okay, Undying Army. Rep. And then Undying Army rep. I bet you when combined with that extra one that I did. So yeah, Undying Army is now ready for supplies. So I'm going to head out to Maldraxxus to pick that up. And then after that, it's not going to have Anima in it, but it could have a mount if I get lucky. After I do that, I'm going to go back to Bastion and then put all of this Anima back in the thing, because I think I've managed to not turn any in a while. And I want to see, yeah, I have currently 20 Anima learned. You can't see it because my portrait's covering it, but I have... you can go in your currency tab, and then you can check a certain currency that you want to keep an eye on, and basically click on it, and then show on backpack. And I am 98% sure this is default interface. This is not an add-on doing this, but you can click on a currency, show on backpack, and then on the bottom of your backpack, you'll have that currency pop up there. And that's how I can check how much Anima I have just without having to go to my currency tab. And it turns out right now 20. That's not Anima in bags, but just Anima in the system. So I want to see exactly how much I can dunk in there once I get back to Bastion. Goes very well with the mod, with the Mog. Default UI. Yeah, I like that one. I used to use it for not very often. There's not that many currencies that I track that important. How do you go with it? Bag add-ons. This comes up a fair amount. And I don't know, fine. I just don't, nobody has ever been able to pitch me on bag add-ons in a way that made it seem necessary to me. I've never been able to really understand why I needed one. And I think some people just have used bag add-ons for so long that they don't remember, like they never, like, what am I trying to say? Once upon a time, default bags did not have auto sort and they did not have search. And that sucks. So I think some people have just been using bag add-ons since before there was search in default bags. However, a lot of people just seem to really like the big mono bag. And I personally, this is a matter of opinion, I hate the mono bag. I want different bags. I want to see each of my bags. I want to see the name. I want to see that this one is a Papa's Mint condition bag. This one's a portable pocket dimension. I want to press the little thingy, the little broom, and have them clean up. This one's for equipment. This one is for trade goods. This one is for consumables. And that's default UI, and I like that. So I don't really see why. Remove the borders between slots. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of taste. I can't say that I don't get where you're coming from, because with bars, with action bars, I 100% will always remove the default art bar, and I use Bartender I don't need bartender, but mostly I just want to reposition the way my bars are ordered, and I want to not have the art bar, and I want to be able to control the gap between the buttons. So I get why somebody would feel that same way about bags. I just don't. It just doesn't bother me. Tried bag on. No, I prefer it. One big bag gives me anxiety. I prefer the big bag. Default does have search. Default has search. It did not always have search, but it has had search for what I would qualify as many years now, I think. It's been a long time. All right. Fingers crossed, trying to get lucky. I will show you exactly what I am hoping to get here from the supplies from the Undying Army. There is a mount. It is called the Colossal Slaughter Claw. Fingers crossed. I don't know if I should literally cross my fingers. Bummer. That was 3,600 gold. No mount, but, you know, progress towards next time. What was that sound? Ah, it's loud. Oh, well, gold's gold. There's also an Arden Moth from the Ardenweald one, which is why I want that. Use Arc Inventory. Lets me check all the stuff in my alts without logging onto them. Do you have a problem with Blizzard adding Raider IO as a default? I'm assuming you mean like hypothetically. I don't think that's happening. Or if it is, I missed it. Would I have a problem with it? I don't know. I don't think they would do it for the same reason that they've never added damage meters by default. But I don't think it would upset me very much if they did, because it is so ubiquitous anyways. I don't think it would be meaningfully different. It's just it's data that's already available on the website and in the game. It's just quantified more easily. They are adding it. Raider IO is coming in default UI. Oh, interesting. We're going to hear all about it on Saturday. Not confirmed, but it was data mined in strings. Oh, okay. I'm going to hold judgment then, but that's interesting. What if they actually, you know, Raider IO, sure, fine. Default damage meters, hello. I feel like we're skipping a step, don't you? I see. All right, I'm going to turn this in, and then I'm going to be done for the day. So I'm going from 20 Anima. What, my day's work? What did my 2-hour stream worth of work get me? 1,115 Anima. Not too bad, especially considering that I think I had already done some Anima World Quest prior to that. That's not bad. So currently I'm saving up for 10,000, at which point I can do either upgrade Path of Ascension or the adventure table. I'm going to need to do both of them. But once this finishes researching, I'm going to be getting even more Anima from future World Quests. So I am cooking. Raider IO is an inside scoop, 100% coming. The definition of confirmed will vary depending on who you're talking to. Different people have different standards for what they require for something to be confirmed. For me personally, for something to be confirmed, I need to see it either in place on PTR or ideally in writing from a developer update. I do not personally consider data mined or news reports to be 100%. They're usually very accurate, but you know, just because of the way news is, and obviously nothing's confirmed forever. Sometimes things happen and then they don't happen. Some things are data mined, they don't make it in. Sometimes things make it in, then they get taken out. But that's just my threshold. Other people will have different standards for that. Yeah. I am finished for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I will be back tomorrow afternoon. I might do Path of Ascension stuff. I might just do a bunch more World Quests for Anima, because I can't lie to you, I'm having fun. On Friday, which is not tomorrow, but on Friday my stream is going to be an hour later, but that's a variety stream anyways, but it will be later due to raid testing. Fair warning, I will warn you again tomorrow. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.